This episode of the Made in Spain podcast is powered by GoCo Energy, clean natural energy for life at the speed of Go.
Welcome to Made in Spain. I'm your co-host, Nalini Sharma, along with my hostess with the mostest.
Hi, everyone. Laura Senior Garcia here.
And today we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary as well as Christmas in Madrid. So this is, first of all, super exciting. We've had a really interesting year, both professionally and personally. So we are here and we're super excited to, share this episode with you, share our memories and our favorite things from the last, 12 months. And, share a little bit about Christmas in Madrid. But before we get to all of that, Laura, we've had a viewer or a listener email. So can I read it to you?
Yeah, 100%.
All right, here we go. Hi, ladies. Love listening to your adventures. My friends and I are planning a girls' trip next year in May. We are flying into Madrid and renting an Airbnb as our base. We would like to plan a few days by train. What city is not too far away and is a must-see? We'd also like to figure out what we can do on a budget and what we can splurge on. Thanks in advance and keep traveling. And that's from Anna in Seattle. So first of all, super excited that we have, people engaging with us and sending us their questions. What's your advice for Anna?
So, Anna, thank you so much for the question. And I have to say that the level of engagement, not just that we're getting by email, but also that we're getting on socials, and we'll talk more a little bit about that later, has been fantastic. So super grateful for our listeners. So for Anna, first of all, I think that great choice to stay in Madrid as the hub, you could say, and travel out of there. I would suggest from a city to visit, and I think, maybe we're a little bit biased, but I would love your take on it as well, Nalini. I think Alicante is a great option, particularly in May. It's nice weather.
Perfect weather.
Exactly. It's the coast. It's an easy train ride from Madrid. Your price for your train ticket can range between €9 and 100.
Right.
So the one thing I would suggest, what to do on a budget or what to kind of save on a little bit during your travel here, personally, I think it's the travel part. So the trains, rental cars or flights, make sure you get them with plenty of time in advance and that you look for the offers, because really you're going to get some really great deals versus if you wait till last minute, you could pay up to 10 times the price.
We've gone to Madrid from here, Alicante, for €7.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes there are offers. Again, Black Friday is something that is now everywhere. Yeah. It was here as well. And Black Friday had amazing offers for travel. So something to watch out for, as well as the sales that happen here right after January. There'll be a lot of travel offers right after the beginning of January. So around the 7th or the 8th of January is that they'll start these sales. So Alicante would be one option. Another option, kind of going more for classic Andalusia, would be Seville. As you know, we were there for just a flash, but what a beautiful city.
Sorry, can I ask you a question? You say it's Seville. Is it not Sevilla?
Oh, it's Sevilla.
Yeah, okay, because I say it as Sevilla all the time. And then, but I notice you say Seville.
Yeah, I think that's just my kind of British upbringing. In English, it's Seville, but in Spanish, it's Sevilla.
Yeah, I've always said it because the double L, but I've always pronounced it like that. And I thought, is this a exception to the rule where it's actually called Seville?
No. It's just, I think that's how you say Seville in kind of British English is Seville, but it's Sevilla.
Sevilla. Okay. Yes, I got it right.
And then I would say, for Anna, if she's flying all the way from Seattle with her friends, I think you want to go south at least once.
You have to.
Yeah, you kind of experience the real Spain. I always say this, and then again, it's to me, it's when you go into some of the southern areas of the country, you experience truly the real Spain, because even though there is a lot of tourism, you still, I don't think it's lost its essence, or people have lost the essence of what it truly means to be from there.
No, and I think when you go to some of the towns in the South, they're very passionate about their food, their culture, and everything is quite accessible.
Totally. So we said somewhere on the coast,
Yes.
then Sevilla South, and then another city that I think is very close to our hearts is Bilbao
Oh,
or
yeah.
San Sebastian, basically north, the Basque country or Galicia. Again, all of these places you can go to by train, direct train, and in most cases, bullet train. Or you can take a cheap airline like Vueling, or you can take like a cheap flight if you'd rather do that. It is going to cut your timing of travel. I'm not a big fan of like driving for long
No, it's far.
ways. It's
It's
far.
far. Spain is a big country, and I mean, you don't want to be driving for 5 or 6 hours if you're on a short trip. So, yeah, I would totally say those are perfect. They're not day trips, but you can do it in 2 days.
Yeah, they're like weekend.
Yeah,
Like a
so-
2 day, and actually not even the weekend, like any day of the week. So we talked about a couple of the budget.
Mhm.
What do you think, Nalini, would be from your perspective something worth splurging on?
We're going to talk more in depth about this, but if you want to splurge on something, maybe some beauty treatments. If you're on a girls' trip, do your research. Look for the reputable clinics, but there's so many cutting edge beauty treatments here
Yes.
that are not invasive. Like we're not talking about surgery, but
You can
just
have surgery,
yeah.
but that's
maybe a different kind of trip.
Yeah.
But definitely I would look into, that you could just do something at a day spa or a med spa, because they're so prevalent here. They're everywhere. You can get something done, a little glow up, if you will. And I would also say, if you're going to splurge on something, maybe a beach club or a day
Yeah.
club where you can go and just have a nice pool. You will not spend anywhere near what you would spend at a beach club, let's say in Mallorca or Ibiza. Not even close.
Yeah.
So
unless you're really planning to make a dent in your bank account
Right,
during the
right.
trip, I would really kind of try to avoid, Ibiza and so again, don't get me wrong, I know the ambience and all of that's what you're paying for and the who's who and all that, but I will never forget being at this beach club in Ibiza and someone next to me ordering a bottle of champagne.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to say which champagne it was, but it was a pretty, let's say, famous brand, but not that super high end. And they were paying 6,000 euros for the bottle. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, that's like 200 at the supermarket. Like that is a
I know.
very high percentage increase. So for me, I'm all about splurging on where it feels like you're getting the best bang for your buck instead of like where it feels like it's a waste.
And I will say this, and I believe this to be true. Correct me if I'm wrong. So let's say you go to a beach club, a super exclusive beach club. The beach itself is public.
Oh yeah, you
So
cannot. Yeah.
Spain has a law, if I'm not mistaken, that all beaches are open to the public.
I don't think you can have a private beach here now
No.
that you say that.
So if I've gone to, some very high-end beach clubs when we lived in Mallorca, and
did you go to that Nikki Beach?
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the beach club I'm talking about, which is great. Listen, it's a great afternoon experience. It is, it's a different price point. However, when you are in the beach club, there is no private beach. It's everybody who's on the beach with their cooler and grandma and grandpa and kids
And then
running
you.
and the frisbee and the ball. So you can leave the beach club and go to the beach, but you could just go to the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, unless you want to be in Nikki Beach or whatever. So just keep that in mind, that it's a little bit different here.
Yes.
They really do pride themselves on making things accessible for everybody. So the
Yeah.
beach should not be owned by just a hotel or a restaurant group. So if you want to splurge, I would say this is a good area to do it in, the Alicante area.
Mhm.
I'm not sure
There's
about
some new beach clubs that
Yeah.
have opened that are really, really cool. And to your point, you're not paying, here you're not paying 500 or 600 euros for a sunbed, which is
No.
what you do pay in some of these other places without anything included.
No,
That's
here
just for the luxury of being on a sunbed.
Yeah,
So,
you could maybe get it for €100 and
or you can
then
go buy your own sunbed.
just drag it down to the
Yeah, I
beach
like that. And then leave it there. Yeah,
Okay, so
so
I would definitely say those are, a splurge. And if you're going to do some shopping, I would encourage anybody to look into a made in Spain brand, whether it's a
yes.
set of
Yeah.
shoes, clothes, even little, artisanal jewelry that you will get at a fraction of the price, and it is unique as well. So that would
Yes.
be my, splurge, I would say. I mean, you can buy high-end name brands in any city
You
almost in the
can.
world.
I will say though that even though the clothes are not made in Spain, the brand is Zara is way cheaper here
Yeah, it's
than
less
anywhere else.
expensive.
It is less expensive. So when you look at clothes from Zara here, let's say a blazer, the same blazer in the US and Singapore, it can cost up to 3 times more.
Mhm.
And when we're looking at Zara here, it is very, very affordable.
Also mango.
Yes, Mango and Zara
Yeah.
both. So if you are someone that likes to shop at Zara, but sometimes, you feel it's a little bit, pricey in your home country, I would say definitely check it out because it is the same exact piece of clothing. And because the way that they were established in the market here very early on,
Mhm.
they can't raise the prices that much because it's,
No.
you know,
No, there would be a rebellion.
exactly. It's like, not my Zara.
There would be a rebellion. All right, so I hope, Anna, that answers. I think we did really well. That we gave her a lot of
Yay!
information.
Hopefully Anna likes it.
And of course, we encourage your opinions, your questions, your advice, any information. Please email us at hola@madeinspainpodcast.com. Message us on all of our socials, Made in Spain, the Made in Spain podcast
Mm-hmm.
on TikTok and Instagram. So those are our contact details. And now we're going to get into the episode. We're talking about Christmas in Madrid. What do you think people don't know about Christmas in Madrid, first of all?
I think first of all, I think if you haven't experienced Christmas in Madrid, so many people think of London or Paris or, like Germany, the Christmas
Right,
markets.
yeah.
I don't think Spain is like the first thing that,
No.
Norway. I don't think Spain is the first thing that pops into people's minds outside of here when they think Christmas. Actually, I just met someone a couple weeks ago that was telling me that, they were going to Austria and all these places to visit the Christmas market. So I don't think this is on a lot of people's radar as a Christmas destination, but I think it's a beautiful Christmas destination.
I think it's probably one of the best Christmas destinations. I haven't been, obviously, to all of them throughout Europe. I've been to a few. The only thing that you're missing is snow, if that's what you're really into. But, I mean, outside of that, it is a spectacular time to come to Madrid in December. I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. So just a few little details. The reason that they sort of started Christmas in Madrid with all the lights, the town or the city of Madrid, the politicians figured, listen, this is going to bring us money. We're going to do these lights. They're going to be energy efficient and it's going to boost tourism. And it's not just the outside tourism, it's also internally. So people will come from different cities, go for a day trip. The cafes are busy. The restaurants are busy. The hotels are busy.
The shopping area is like busting.
The shopping area. You've got really beautiful Christmas markets. And it's also a psychological boost for the city itself, the capital city, that they take pride in this. This is your home. And yeah, look how beautiful it is. So you have approximately about 130 cherry trees illuminated.
Wow.
You have over 7,000 light garlands, which adds up to about 160 kilometers of light garlands throughout the city, 13 giant Christmas trees. And you also have each neighborhood, they have their own kind of Christmas theme, feel,
So
the whole vibe.
That's so cool.
It's really pretty.
What day do they do? Because I remember we talked about this. Isn't there a specific day that all the lights kind of come on?
They, I think it comes on the last weekend of
November?
yeah, uh, basically right when American Thanksgiving falls.
Okay.
So that's kind of weekend. That's when they put the lights officially, throw the lights on. So the first time I saw Madrid at Christmas, it was just we were flying back from Canada and we had to spend a night there. And I did not expect anything at all because if anybody lives here, you know that it's a very different Christmas vibe than what you have in other places in the world. It's far less Santa Claus-y.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure. Santa's made it big time here now.
Now, but not even that. Like,
When I was growing up, it was like, okay, yeah, Santa Claus, it's
Yeah.
okay, like and that's one thing that Spanish people I think we're really good at is we'll sign up for any party.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, Santa, yeah, that sounds good as well. Like we can include him, but it was much less prevalent before because did have much more of a religious undertone,
Right,
than it currently does. And also, there's I think the other thing as well that's a bit different about Christmas here is just it's a lot of going out.
It's a lot of going out.
It's
a
not
lot
really
of being
like
out. Yeah, of the
that
house.
mental picture you have of like an American Thanksgiving or
Where everybody's
American
in the
Christmas.
house.
It's like, yeah, it's a lot of let's go out, let's go
Yeah.
for the chocolate con churros or whatever.
Well, when we flew back and we were going to the hotel, driving through the city, that was the first time I saw Madrid at Christmas. And it was actually just, I think, January 2nd, let's say. But I was so blown away. I had no idea it was that pretty. And I've talked to people here who've lived here for 30 years and they've never gone to see the lights at Christmas, which I can't even believe because it's so pretty.
So I will say it is very popular.
Yeah.
So if you are planning on doing it and you are going to try and stay the night, which I think we would recommend because
Yes.
it is a beautiful, experience, book it with time in advance because
and the hotels,
packed.
the hotels, if you book obviously in advance, I mean, even though it is the month of December or even late November, it's quite reasonable.
Yeah, no, you can find a big range of options. So I noticed here in our research that the Christmas kind of magic in Madrid brings around 6 million euros extra.
Yeah.
I think
It's
that
more.
is way more than
Yeah.
that. I think that's a very kind of underestimated number because just the shopping alone.
Shopping, every restaurant's full. You need to make reservations, but I would say it's just such an accessible thing to do because you can go to a Christmas market. Most of the plazas throughout the city, they have beautiful Christmas markets for chestnuts. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's also really nice just to be outside with your family and walk around or a date or I don't know. It's
actually
really
it's a
pretty.
kind of cute romantic date idea of
It
going to like
really
a
is.
Christmas market in Madrid. So question, when you first went to Madrid for Christmas, did you notice the belenes? When they do the representation of the little baby Jesus being born.
So
did you see that?
Yes.
And what was your kind of thoughts and impression of that?
I thought it was really nice because there's still a religious, here it is held on to. So they celebrate the fact that it's the birth of Christ. It's not just Santa Claus coming down the chimney with presents, which is sort of how we grew up. I'll never forget. I went years and years ago to Christmas day, celebration at a church. I'd gone with a family that I knew and everybody was so solemn. And I thought, not here in Toronto, but I just thought it was very funny that people were so serious. But I thought, listen, this is Christ's birthday. It should be happier. So I think that the tradition with also the magic of it and the fun of it, it's nice that there's a balance here. Yes. There's a balance. You get both. You can be very religious and very observant of it, but you can also have, the Santa Claus side of it if you want.
Yeah, it is interesting, and we won't get into it in this episode, but the historical accuracy of Jesus actually being born in December is very questionable, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah, let's not.
The church decided that was a good time,
Yeah,
so
let's just
okay,
stick with it.
let's
We'll
just stick with it. But yeah.
And just quickly, I want to talk about chestnuts.
Yeah.
With the famous Christmas song, chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Castañas.
Yes.
So that's how we call them here in Spain.
But it's a Spanish food.
So I never even thought about it as specifically a Spanish food.
But it is, though.
But
so
if you think, the moment you say Christmas market, to me, the mental picture that comes in my head is someone roasting chestnuts.
over an open fire. It's really
Yes.
the Christmas song. If you walk around Madrid, you're going to see the Christmas song. Chestnuts are roasting on an open fire.
Yeah.
And you buy your little bag and you just peel them and you eat them. But Spain,
so good. I'm craving them now.
oh really? When I go back the next
Yeah.
time, I'm gonna try them. But Spain is the second largest producer of chestnuts in the world, next to China. It was propagated by the Romans, and it was considered, before mass agriculture and farming and, different types of food and breads and wheats, to be the poor person's carbohydrate, because there's apparently 60% carbs. They would grow wild. They would feed it to soldiers.
Wow.
So when you think through medieval times, this has had a very long history in Europe. I think it's maybe a little bit forgotten,
Yes.
but at the same time,
You don't see kids eating chestnuts, but actually,
No.
I made some last year in the air fryer.
oh, and were they good?
Yeah, they were good. Just put a little cross and then they can pop open.
Oh,
They're really
interesting.
good. In the air fryer. It's actually quite, because it's not that easy to start an open fire in your house to kind of, do chestnuts unless you have but people do put them if you have a chimney,
Right.
fireplace, they do put them there.
So yeah, that was just my other little thing about Christmas.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Christmas in Madrid. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit. You're going to lead us through this. The Christmas traditions here in
Yes,
Spain,
because they are
a little bit different.
They are a little bit different. The dates are a bit different.
Okay.
And we have a much longer Christmas.
Yes.
So when everybody's already done, dusted, trees out of the way, it's on still for quite a while
Yeah,
here.
Spain's still going.
Yeah, Spain's still going. We can drag it out for another week. So, and I will say, as in most Christmas traditions around the world, a lot of it is centered around family,
Yes.
food,
Yep.
and drinking.
Yes.
I mean, there's a whole lot of that. So when you get to the end of it, most people that you meet around the 6th of January, I'm on a diet.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I can't eat anymore. Because every house you go to, they want you to eat. They want you to have the turrones and mazapan, all these different
Yeah.
things. And it's kind of like an offense almost to not eat. So most people put on an average of 5 kilos during the Christmas period. It's a lot.
That's not
So
good.
yeah, I know. Nalini's I need to leave. Okay, so it starts with December 24th,
Okay.
which is actually here for a lot of people a more significant or important day than the 25th.
Okay.
And I think that's surprising to some people because, the 25th is Christmas and it's kind of a big deal. But the 24th is supposedly the night that Jesus Christ was born,
Okay.
Nochebuena. And that's when you have the first family kind of gathering for
Okay.
Christmas. So that's the 24th. Then you've got December 25th is usually Christmas Day lunch.
Right.
Never dinner, it's usually lunch. What is interesting is most families, I think, use this for okay, on the 24th, we'll go to your parents. On the 25th, we'll go to my parents.
Right.
It's like this kind of trade-off negotiation that happens. Where do you do the 24th and where do you do the 25th? And as you can imagine, the 24th is a huge meal.
Yes.
It goes on very late, and you're getting together the following day to do the same thing over again at lunchtime, which
Pause and repeat. Yeah.
is always fascinating to me how that goes, And then on the 31st, obviously, it's New Year's. But again, New Year's here, even though it's New Year's, it's still Christmas. I don't know how to describe it because it is in the middle of the initial Christmas celebrations on the 24th and the 25th. And the one on the 5th, which is Víspera de Reyes, and the Cabalgata, which is when you do the parade, the
Right.
Three Kings parade.
Three Kings.
And supposedly on the 6th, which is marked as the last day of Christmas, that's the Three Kings Day,
Right.
when the kids actually get their presents.
Yeah.
So present-wise, kids get presents on the 25th, yes, and on the 6th.
Right.
So basically 2 times.
And I just want to ask you about New Year's Eve, because I think here it's celebrated a little bit differently in that
The party starts at 12.
the party actually starts at 12, which is when in the other side of the world where I'm from, the party ends basically at 12. And then you've got it doesn't end at 12, but
For a lot of people, it
starts to like, you're
die
winding down and you should be home by like in your bed by 1.
now.
We've gone out here. I went out 1 year with my husband, not to even do anything crazy, but we just said, okay, we'll go out. We went out at 7, which is late for me.
Yeah.
That's actually late in my world to leave my house at 7 p.m.
Tough.
On New Year's Eve, we went out, we're dressed, and we thought, oh, we'll have, a little cocktail here. We went to the little casino down the road, and the woman looks at us. There's nobody in there.
Oh, no.
Okay? I thought there would be people in there. I think it's New Year's Eve. There's nobody in there. It's the 2 of us. And she looks at us and she says, we have to close up at 8. And I thought, there is no place I've ever been in this country that they close at 8.
Yes.
She's like, no. She said, we close at 8 because we have to go home and do
Have
dinner. And then we celebrate with our families. We have to do the grapes at midnight. And then we come back around 12:30. She's like, come back at 12:30 and there'll be 100 people in here. Lady, I'm out at 7:20. Once I get home, this is coming off and I'm in my pajamas. I am not coming out at 12:30.
So here it's
very different.
Oh, it's very different. And New Year's is, you would be a little bit like shunned upon from a family standpoint if you're not staying up at least with your family to do the grapes.
Right.
Welcome the New Year. The WhatsApp chats go crazy at like 12:05 with everybody. Congratulations. People you haven't heard of all year will write to you at like 12:01, 12:03, congratulating you on the New Year. And there's all kinds of little weird traditions. Like you're supposed to be wearing gold.
Oh, really?
You're supposed to be wearing red underwear.
Oh, okay.
So red underwear sales like soar before New Year's.
Wow, this explains a lot.
Yeah, don't you like red underwear everywhere? It's because people wearing them at New Year's.
Oh my God, I've just had like a moment here because every time I go to the shopping plaza, I think, wow, people are really into underwear here.
Like it's like red underwear. And like a gold something.
Gold, okay.
And then the
Does that
grapes.
go for the men?
Yeah.
Who have to wear red underwear?
Yeah.
Oh.
So like that's usually like the boxer pants and stuff, red everywhere. It's for the whole, it's everyone.
Interesting. I learned something
there
today.
You go.
Yeah.
And then the grapes, of course, which are just interesting. Again, not going to get into the debate of where this exactly comes from. There are a lot of theories that this was a way of selling grapes that were going bad around this time of the year. And someone had this like invented moment that, one grape for every like ding, ding, on the.
But that's like as it counts down to midnight?
Yes.
So
it's the last 12 seconds.
It's the last 12
bong, bong.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was asking, I think I've asked you about this before. Are you expected to eat
all 12 of them?
All 12 and
at
I
the
think
same time. And most people, so you're sitting there like, like a hamster with your, like, supposedly is put them all in your mouth. Because, there's no way you can chew it and swallow it that fast.
Have you done this?
Yeah, I've done it most years. For us, it's bad luck. Like most people, if you're a little bit superstitious, it's bad luck.
Wow.
And if you can't do the grapes, like you invent something to do it with, like, Smarties or
raisins.
Yeah. but the grapes, and that's also why the grapes without the seeds are a must, because you're or before there was grapes without seeds.
Yeah.
I remember seeing my mom and my grandma sitting there peeling everybody's grapes and taking out the seeds.
Aww.
So they would have them ready in a glass for midnight.
Go.
It's bad luck if you don't have them for, people who believe in that. Yeah.
And do you just want to talk a little bit about the Three Kings to explain? So
yes.
Basically the Three Kings, they're the 3 wise men. in the
Yes.
story of the birth of Jesus.
That's Melchor, Gaspar, and Baltasar.
Okay.
And in the parade that they do on the 5th, they bring presents and candy to the kids. And there's like camels, real camels, and, animals that walk in this parade. In the last few years, again, there's been a lot more attention on ensuring that, animal welfare, etc. So they are well taken care of and all of that. But it is kind of funny because sometimes here people are not as aware of certain things as in other parts of the world. And I remember the first time you told me that you'd seen someone on TV or something and they had like their face painted black, because normally I think it's Baltasar would be like the black king.
Right.
Because again, supposedly this story is taking place in Africa, etc. So anyway, but here a lot of people didn't think twice of like why that would just be not appropriate, that someone would just kind of paint their face black. And lately I think they have been trying, to be more like diversity aware.
I think so. Maybe not in my local village, but we'll see. I'll look at it this year.
In Madrid, I would say if you're going to see the parade there, it is very likely actually going to be someone who is, black, who is doing that role instead of someone with their face painted black.
But it attracts thousands of people are there for it. So it is.
Watch out for the sweets though, because when they're throwing like candy and stuff, it is serious. Like my grandma, rest in peace, she had like a moment of pure rage because she got hit by a sweet on her head, and it was like a proper hard candy.
Oh my goodness.
And she was swearing in front of like all these kids and everyone was looking at us, and she was swearing at one of the guys who was doing the Three Kings. I was like, oh my God, so embarrassing. Like, we remember that forever. But yeah, it's a lovely tradition. I really recommend it for anyone that hasn't experienced it. And it's, again, if you like Christmas, it's like extending Christmas by a lot.
Right. And then just the sweets, the popular one at Christmas is?
Turrón, mazapan, polvorones.
Right.
Which, most people will always have in their house ready to welcome you.
Yeah, and it's sold everywhere. Sold everywhere. So, and the cake. The the
roscon.
Yes.
So that's a bit of an interesting one. So that is like, by the time you get to the roscon, that's when you start hearing people say, oh, I'm not doing the roscon this year because I need to lose some weight. Because again, you've had all this food at this point.
But that's really the last of the last.
Yeah, it's the last of the last.
If you see that out, okay, we're done.
We're done.
Yeah.
It's like this, basically looks like a huge donut, you could say. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And it's a nice, soft.
It's like a brioche almost.
It is very much like a brioche if it's done properly, because if not, sometimes they can get hard and dry. Most of them these days are split down the middle, and they put either chocolate cream or whipped cream. And then they have, what do you call those things? Like confit, like,
the little candied cherries.
Yes,
on
candied
the top.
Cherries or candied fruit on the top. And then there's some weird traditions and superstitions as well, where you cut the roscon, and if you get there's like little toys inside,
right?
Which again, if you think about it, it's
a
not
choking
the
hazard.
Smartest idea, like a choking hazard. But if you get like one particular piece, you have to pay for the roscon. If you get another piece, it means that you're gonna have good luck the whole year. So it's a very cool.
It's a nice thing.
It is a nice thing, and you usually have it with hot chocolate.
Yeah,
so, Roscon de Reyes. That's a
sweet
really
on
nice
sweet.
One.
Why not? All right.
Or champagne. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should we move on to our slice of life?
Yes. Slice of life. So, before we dive into our slice of life, quick shout out to our amazing partner, GoCo Energy. You have to try this.
That's right, Laura. GoCo is energy done right. Made with coconut water, natural caffeine, and real fruit flavors. No crash, no jitters, just clean, feel-good energy that actually tastes amazing.
It's perfect, right? Whether you're working, traveling, or just keeping your creative spark alive, basically it keeps you in that go mode.
I agree. I'm not necessarily a fan of all energy drinks, but this is one that I truly enjoy. My favorite flavor so far is pineapple, and you can order it straight from gokoenergy.com. That's GOKO energy.com. Shipped right to your door.
So hydrating, refreshing, and honestly, it just makes everything flow better. Slice of life.
Slice of life. Okay.
Woo, woo, woo. Slice of life of our celebratory anniversary episode.
Our anniversary. Should we cheers?
Cheers.
Cheers to a fantastic 12 months. We've had ups and downs. A lot happened in our personal lives on both sides. So we're here.
Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate.
Yes.
Happy holiday season to everyone.
Happy New Year. And we're just really happy that we've had people come along on this ride with us and been supportive. And we've had sponsors, and we have new sponsors coming on for 2026. And we really just started this as a funny project. We did not think that we would, I think, be here in this spot a year later.
It is kind of surreal.
It is, and the amount of things that we've kind of accomplished and done. So I think we're both really proud of our effort and our work. So
our effort, our work.
Congratulations. Cheers. Oh, and this today, I'll take a sip, but.
Now, eat a grape right after, because it really, it really goes well with the.
I just want to show this. This is 1917 Cava. It is from this winery called Masset. And this was voted, this is what we're drinking today, as the best Cava in the world. World champion 2025. And congratulations to them, but it's a fantastic company here.
But it's not from 1917, just to be clear.
No. It's just that's the name of this particular bottle. This is their
very pretty bottle.
And we met them when we went to the food show in, where was that, Alicante? Yeah, so we went to that food show in Alicante, I think in September, and I filled out a card just for more information. They phoned me, and then I made an order. They brought it straight to the house, and they take cash payment. So it was actually really super easy.
Nice.
And I did a little research, and I found that that is the best cava in the world.
Amazing.
So again,
it's really tasty, and I love how it goes with the grapes. We were going to try to put 12 grapes in our mouth, but it may pause this episode significantly. Yeah. But we would absolutely love to hear, if you've never tried it before, to do the 12 grapes.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Join the Spanish tradition.
We'll do it. We'll try it.
For socials.
Yeah,
we'll see
try
like doing, like the timing, if we can actually do it. So the other thing as well that we wanted to share with you, we thought it would be cool to do our kind of top 3 moments of the year. This year, again, as Nalini said, we have had a lot of challenging moments as well.
Yes.
But a lot of happy and great moments. So Nalini, what were your favorite 3 moments of the year?
Okay. I made notes, but I'm just saying off the top of my head, for me, I loved when we were in Granada and we did that little photo shoot, and we were walking around, and it was just the two of us. We had gone to Granada with your husband, Jeff, and my son, Ayrton.
Yes.
And we did a tour of the sort of the Arabic area that was there. It was really pretty, the shops, and we walked up to the Alhambra, or at least got to the edge of it, and then we were walking back, and we're just like, okay, let's just duck into this little bodega.
Yes.
It was so fun. I mean, we only stayed half an hour, but they had the vermouth on tap.
Yeah.
So it was like this frenetic energy at 12:30 on a, I don't know.
It feels like it's like the happy time of the day.
Right. I don't know. It was not a typical happy hour time, but it was so authentic. It was so real. It was not something we had looked up on our phone or planned. We just were like, let's just go in here, and have a quick drink. And we thought, why not try vermouth? And the vermouth was on from the barrels. Yes. So good. We had a quick vermouth and a few little tapas and then went back to the hotel. But that was one of a really organic, fun moment. And it just
Great.
sticks out in my head. And then my other kind of funny moment would be, which is, there are no words to describe this, but the fancy dress party in Benidorm.
Oh, yeah. My goodness.
There are no words. So I'll just leave it at that as I mean, we've had so many great moments, but those two kind of just stick out in my mind.
So I think we mentioned this in the last episode, but he heavily encouraged to look up fancy dress party in Benidorm.
Brace
see
yourself.
what comes up, especially on socials. I think there's a lot of fun things there. So I think if I were to share a couple of moments that really kind of stand out in my mind, is one of them has to be Dragonstone or San Juan de Gastelugache.
Oh my gosh.
I think that the older I get, the more I appreciate things that you can't pay for, if that makes sense. So the experience of being out somewhere so beautiful that it's just being there that makes it special. It's not like a ticketed event or something like a rest. No, it was just like being out in this like amazing place. And it just feels very connected, you know?
And you can't, I mean, unless you've been there and you've seen it, there really are no words to describe the beauty of that part of Spain. That you have to see it. Yeah. So I would highly recommend if you're coming here. The winter's cold there, so
yes, it's very cold. I think it's a really great place to visit in the summer. And I'm actually going to reserve my other two because the year's not over yet. And
okay.
We've got some like really cool, trips coming up. We're actually going to Madrid.
Yes.
We're going to be there the day that the Christmas lottery goes. So cross your fingers. We'll buy a few tickets to see if we can,
Do you want to talk about the Christmas lottery? Because that's another huge Christmas tradition here.
Yes. So the Christmas lottery is
El Gordo.
El Gordo de Navidad.
Which is the fat one.
Yeah. The fat. So
that's what it translates into.
I researched like where does that name come from?
Right.
And it turns out that apparently when many, many years ago, one of the adverts that was printed for the lottery was this really fat guy, on a picture with like all these, it was
lottery tickets.
All these lottery tickets, but it was like a graphic. It was like an actual person.
Right.
It was a drawing with all these lottery numbers, and I think it stuck. It just became, El Gordo de Navidad. It was like, yeah, I know it sounds kind of very weird, but that's
the name of the lottery.
So the Christmas lottery, I told Nalini what has always been mind-blowing to me is that it's not a lottery that you make a tremendous amount of money in if you win. It's like much smaller than like the Euro Millions or the big lotteries in the US, but so many people take part in this lottery. And if you have like one ticket that hits, and I tried to understand, I looked at it again yesterday.
Right.
It's 400,000 euros for one ticket.
One.
If you were to buy the whole sheet, which is 10 tickets, then you'd be getting 4 million.
But it's okay. And this is what I think. It's difficult to understand as an outsider because you have 10 tickets of the same number.
Correct.
So,
and the number that comes out from that spinning bowl is the whole number.
Right.
It's not like 1, 13. It's the whole number, 10,700. And there's a whole, I really wish we could go see this actually in the 22nd. I'll look up the time. But there is these kids from a specific school in Madrid, de San Ildefonso. They're the ones that call the numbers. And there's a whole tradition around that too. The Christmas lottery, like we could literally have like a whole episode on it, but I will just say this. If you go to Madrid and you're like downtown near the Gran Via, you will see one of the most popular places to buy the Christmas lottery.
Because people have a superstition too.
Yes.
That they have to, even here in Benidorm, the one place where it's right near the Zara, that lottery place is always lined up.
Because a lot of people travel here from other parts of Spain. Yeah. And if they hear at Christmas, the Christmas lottery, it fell in Spain. And they're like, what? I travel there and I have an apartment there and I didn't buy the Christmas. So a lot of people buy Christmas lottery tickets when they're traveling.
Right, right.
So it's a whole thing. And then what I read yesterday was, interestingly enough, started the actual Christmas lottery. The lotteries itself, the national lottery, was way before, I think like 1700s. The Christmas lottery, the first year they did that was 1812.
Wow.
And it was in Cádiz. That was
of all
the
places.
first place that the Christmas lottery was done. And apparently the initial intent, and I wasn't quite able to understand if this was the national lottery or just the Christmas lottery, was a way for the state to collect money without having to ask for more taxes.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we'll get people all excited. There's a prize, but obviously the majority of it is not, it's profit. It's not actually the prize.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting concept, because I was actually going to ask you, is that the way the lottery is in like other countries where it's owned by the state?
In Canada, it is a government, it's government run, but the money that they collect from the gaming corporation, they use it to fund charities. So it will go.
I bet you that's not the case here.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they say on paper. I haven't really looked into it, but it's also different there because you'll have let's say it's 20 million. And in the province that I'm from, Ontario, you can pick your numbers or do what they call a quick pick. I haven't played 649 in forever, but it's those numbers that it's one ticket that wins and one set of numbers. So I would pick, 27, 16, 3, you pick your numbers, that's your ticket. And if all those numbers come up, you win the whole prize. Like, you don't have to have 10 of the same ticket numbers to win the prize. You win it. So yeah, it's different, because the first time I bought lottery tickets here and she gave us 5 or 6 of the same ticket, I thought, oh God, she thinks we're stupid. Like, I was like, wow, she thinks we are really stupid. She sold us the same ticket 5 times.
But if you would have hit that, you would have had 5 times the price.
Right. And which now I understand, but then I did not. So interesting.
Yeah. So if you're coming by,
buy a ticket.
They start selling them very early on.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like, I know I've seen people lined up for Christmas lottery in Benidorm in summer, which is,
oh, really?
fascinating.
Well, if you go to the train station in Madrid.
Oh, the guy.
The guy knows
$20, and he's like, he's selling the tickets.
Everybody knows that guy.
It's kind of hard not to know him. He's super loud. It's like,
he's the only guy I've seen
like
selling
7:00 in the morning, waiting for the train, listening to his lottery numbers. So,
yeah.
Okay,
All
so
right.
I think we need to go to our closing, and
We have to mention 2 things we did in Madrid, though.
yes,
NFL.
Okay. Should we talk about it?
Yeah, NFL
Okay,
quickly.
let's
Just
do it.
quickly. I went to
Let's do
the NFL game in Madrid in November, and it was Dolphins versus Miami Dolphins versus the Washington Commanders at the where Real Madrid, where they play. So it was, I have to say, for the NFL, like, what a fantastic event.
All the reviews online seem to be like super positive.
I highly recommend it, that if you can see a game, an NFL, a season game in somewhere in Europe, and they have one next year in Madrid, go for it.
I
It
know
was a
they've done it in
fantastic
London
event.
before, but this is the first time ever they
In
did
Madrid.
it in Spain.
Yeah, first time. And 83,000 capacity. The stadium was at 80,000.
Wow.
So imagine 80,000 NFL fans in the center of Madrid. I don't know where everybody came from, but what a huge economic boost, because there were, most of the people around us, at least, were American.
Yeah.
Most.
And you said there were a lot of people from America in the train, even.
In the train from Alicante, the entire train, they were all Americans wearing their team jersey.
Oh, that's
Our hotel,
so cool.
all Americans, team jersey. And on the actual ticket, it said that halftime show was Daddy Yankee and Pizza Rap. And I was like, there's no way Daddy Yankee is here. Like, there's no way.
And Bizarrap. He's huge.
But he was.
Amazing.
I was like, he only sang one song, but
Aw.
still, he was from
That's
here to
amazing.
just over there, like super close. Congratulations to them for pulling off a great event, to the city of Madrid for hosting it. A fantastic way to spend a rainy weekend in November.
Awesome. And did you feel safe? Because I think that's the
1,000%. Very safe, really happy crowd, just everybody in a good mood. And I think they control the alcohol as well. So
Yeah, I would
there's
suspect
not, you can get I think you can get beer.
You can get, I think in most of these things, you can get beer.
And I think
that's
that
about
might
it.
be about it, but because I didn't see anybody with anything else other than a cup of beer.
Yeah.
So there wasn't that crazy kind of, fight's going to kick off in any second. It wasn't that atmosphere at all. People were just in a really, really good mood.
Most big events here really don't have that kind of vibe of like, unsafe.
And you went to Marilyn Manson?
I did.
Like the week later or?
A week later after the NFL.
Weeks later, yeah.
And I had to laugh about this because I think Marilyn Manson may be the only rock star that starts and ends his concerts on time, which did not work to my advantage.
He's also mid-50s.
He is mid-50s, but I gotta give it to Mr. Marilyn Manson that, he looks amazing. He's lost a bunch of weight. He's got in shape, and everybody's talking about how great this tour is.
Right.
I seen him a few years ago, and it wasn't that great. I don't think he was at the best moment in his career. And this was to me, it was very special. It was pretty hilarious because I'll make a confession. I abandoned my suitcase at the Madrid Barajas airport because we landed. I'm like, I am not going to make it to this concert. All the reviews online, he's starting on time. So I just said, you know what? I'm just going to leave my suitcase here and I'll try and figure this out tomorrow. Because if not, I was going to be 45 minutes late to the concert.
Oh.
So I just left. And then the following day, I'm like, my suitcase didn't come out, and then they sent it to the house, which I'm very grateful for.
Oh,
but
you're lucky.
I walked into the venue as he was starting the first song.
Oh, good.
2 minutes after the supposed start time. So I was like,
he started on time.
He did.
He also stayed in the same hotel room that we did in the summer, by the way.
I think the receptionist was like, worried that I was some kind of weird stalker. Because I seen his wife posted on Instagram and there was a picture, like you said.
Yeah.
So I went up to the receptionist. I'm like, is Marilyn Manson staying here? And the receptionist is like, no, he left already. Just like looking at me like, what?
No, because you sent it to me and I'm like, wow, cool. And then 3 minutes later, I wrote back, I'm like, who is that?
Yeah.
And you're like, it's Marilyn Manson in our hotel room from the summer. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But
Anyway.
It was funny. Like the receptionist was like, I'm not telling you that. But so I knew he's not here anymore. I'm like, okay.
Well, Laura, we've had a year.
Yes, we have. And we still have the sentence of the day.
Sentence of the day. Let's do it.
Before we close out. So this is very
I haven't looked at it.
Good. This is very much about a new year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Año Nuevo,
New year.
Vida Nueva.
New year, new life.
Yes.
Yes. Oh. Only 12 months. It only took me 12.
Año Nuevo, Vida Nueva. And I think it goes without saying, this is an opportunity for renewal, for refocusing, for thinking about, how are we going to make 2026 special?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yes.
So there you go.
Awesome.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Please
Merry
like,
Christmas.
subscribe,
Yeah.
all the things, and please engage with us. We love hearing from you.
And we'll say bye for now.
Bye.
The Made in Spain podcast is fueled by GoCo Energy, refreshingly real energy that keeps the good vibes going.